Hello there. Welcome back to grade 11 tourism. In this video, I want to look at a question paper from a March test. Then we are going to look at question 7 of that question paper. So obviously, our question is on tourism sectors. So we are going to look at question 7.1, which reads a study the itinerary below and answer the questions. So you are given an itinerary there that you need to go through before you answer the questions. So beneath that, we got our questions whereby 7.1.1 means identify one document that Mr. Stevens must produce in order to check in for his flights. So obviously, you see that this itinerary is the one for Mr. Michael Stevens. So the question needs us to identify one document that Mr. Stevens must produce in order to check in for his flight. Obviously, there is need for ID, which is the identity document, and also you can use a driver's license as a proof of identity. So these are the two documents that we have also uh, indicated on our answer section. So we are saying identity documents and we could also driver's license. So going back to our next question, 7.1.2, which is for could there are differences that we need to he be booked on a budget airline. So remember, a budget airline is usually described by a low cost as a low cost carrier, which tries to keep its prices and fares lower than competitors. So obviously, that's the main description that we have in terms of a budget airline. So its difference from economy is that under the budget airline, we have got some additional costs that are there that we do not find under the economy. So that's how we can differentiate, although in some cases, people use them interchangeably. That is, people use economy in place of a budget airline. But there is a slight difference that is there, especially in terms of additional cost. We have more additional cost on budget airline as compared to the economy. So the two differences that we should deduce there, we can go to one section to try to see what descriptions do we have. The lower cost, that's the first one. Second one, passengers have fewer comforts, and then a lower level of services provided on a budget airline in the ticket price, and they have to be purchased on board the budget airlines. So basically, this is one of the descriptions that is concurrent with the explanation that I gave, that there are more additional costs that are needed in terms of budget airline, which are coming in the form of refreshments in this context. And the next, newspaper purchased on tickets are not usually assigned specific seats for the budget airlines. So our question is only asking for two. So we can just try to include two according to the requirements of the question. So from there, we go to the next question that we have, which is now 7.1.3. And it reads, advise Mr. Stevens about the time that he should check in at Port Elizabeth Airport prior to his departure on 20th February. So we got there, the information given, and we see that on 20th February, the departure time, we are seeing that the departure time that we have there is stated. Let's just try to see there. We have got on 20th February. We just refer back to the to our question to see what exactly. Its departure is on 28th February. Let's take note of that. So we can just go where we have at 20th February. So we are seeing that the departure time is 08:25. So obviously, the check-in time should be you should be there earlier, at least 1 hour before. So we are saying if you subtract 1 hour from it, 25, you're going to get your 7:25. So we're saying 7:25 or earlier. That question, which is saying advise Mr. Stevens about the time on 20 So we're saying 07:25 or earlier. So this is the response that we have according to what we go to the next question, which is give what is the process of checking in needs time. So it's the allowance that is given for processing the check-in process. So basically, that's again the description that we have in terms of our answer. You must check in at least 1 hour prior to departure in order to complete the check-in procedures. So that's what we have. And then go to the next question. State whether Mr. Stevens will be flying on a narrow body aircraft or a wide body aircraft on his return flight on 7 March. Give one reason for your answer. So we go to 7 March here. So we see Mr. Stevens is departing Johannesburg or at Tambo International Airport. And then the arrival is in Port Elizabeth. So basically, the flight is from Johannesburg to Port South Africa. So the distance is not all that long. So obviously, we are saying within that context, you can be able now to deduce between whether if you go back to the aircraft or wide body aircraft. So obviously it's going to be our narrow body aircraft just because of the distance that is going to be covered. So we go to other section again to see 7.1.4 what description do we have. So we are saying narrow body aircraft, the implementation or the use of narrow body aircraft. And then on the motivation, why are we saying so? In South Africa, domestic flights are short haul flights, and therefore only narrow body aircraft are used. And then wide body aircraft are used on long haul international flights. So the recommended one in terms of this distance that we are having from Johannesburg to Port Elizabeth is a narrow body aircraft. So basically, the explanation is saying the flights are shorter. So we need to understand exactly what they mean by shorter. So by shorter, we're saying they are relatively short distance in terms of travel or if you are talking about also the transportation of goods, it will be a short distance. So basically, that's the reason. So that's the motivation that we have. Then we go to the next question. 7.1.5, advise Mr. Stevens about where he should store his carry-on luggage once on board the aircraft. So again, we try to see he must store his carry-on luggage in the overhead storage compartments on the aircraft. So this is our response that we have. When you go to 7.1.6, in a paragraph, explain the procedures in the correct order that will be followed when Mr. Stevens checks in for his flight at the SAA count. So obviously, these procedures, we must set them in order in what happens on the arrival and what is going to happen next. For the check-in, obviously, there's an issue of checking your documents, and that is something that has to be happen first. So basically, that's the order that we will try to follow. So the first is at the check-in counter, you must produce valid identification. So obviously, the first procedure is to check the identification of the person. Then the assistant will verify his details on the computer system. And the next is his check-in luggage will be weighed, and the luggage tag will be pressed on it to get his destination. And then the assistant will print a boarding pass with the information for his flight and attach his luggage ticket. So basically, in the exam, let's just try to put in the same order that you are having here to show the procedures that needs to be taken. So basically, that's what we have according to this video. Thank you for listening. Let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. Let's not forget to share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 11 tourism. More typical examination questions will be uploaded on this channel. So let's get notified. Let's turn on the notification button so that we get notified of new uploads. As for this video, I'm signing out. Let's meet again in the next video.